Arise, O Lord, for the ark of the covenant is risen this morning. Beloved, we salute you this morning as a people that stand in for God to make sure what God said. His will must be done on earth as it is in heaven. Then number two, that humanity will be preserved and protected from the mission of the devil, which is to kill, to steal, and to destroy. That is what we are standing for. We are not a religious body that is fighting and teaching people to go to heaven. No. The man who told us about God and heaven did not tell us to come to heaven. He said, occupy, conquer till I return. Where? The earth. The earth was out of hands, out of control by God's people. Remember, God made a statement, and that statement bars God or limits God from intervention over the situation of the earth. What is that statement? He said, let us make man in our own image, and let them have dominion over the earth. So God is barred, or God is prevented from interfering the earth, because he has spoken his word that they on earth, that is humans, must have dominion over the earth. This is scriptural. He said, let them, not us who created them, but them that we created, have dominion over the earth. That is why people cannot understand why the world is in a mess, bombs, killings, and God is not doing anything. Is God really there? Is God really there? Oh yes, God is there, but he does not break his word. How do we know that? Psalm 138 verse 2. He said, I have exalted my word above my name. His name being means his being. The word name from the Greek means be. Kum. That's the Hebrew. And Aramaic means kum, be. So God will never. That is why he told Ezekiel the prophet that I sought for a man. Why? If he gets a man, then he can come into the situation. And that is why you and I must decide to be those people, those men and women that God can rely on to come into the situation. Otherwise, God will do nothing. So, late Dr. Mars said, would that man God will not do? Would that God man cannot do? So we need each other as partners. He said, I sought for a man to stand in the gap. The gap into what? The mess. The mess is the gap. And he said, and I found none. That's where the issue is. How come he found none when men are available, calling on him, worshiping him, saying all kinds of things? They do not qualify. They can't qualify because they don't have what it takes to qualify. He found none because he found no one who has understanding about his mind, the mind of God. He found no one who has the knowledge of God. That's why we have set up the school of the knowledge of God. If you come and know the knowledge of God, then God can find you. He's looking for Issachars. Issachars are people who have understanding of God and know what ought to be done and know the time, because God deals with time. That's why he said in the fullness of time he sent forth his son. In fact, religion has terribly failed religion has terrible failed. That's why I quit religious Christianity. Christianity is a religion. Don't let anybody deceive you. If Christianity really is what she claims to be, representing Christ, Christianity is older than 2,000 years. What is the impact of it on earth? Nothing. I'm telling you, nothing. Busy congregating and collecting offerings and tithes. That's all. Building monuments. And the devil is still in charge. Killing, stealing, and destroying. How? And the religious bodies on earth total over 5 billion membership. And they cannot make an impact? Yes, of course. Why? Because they do not know the mind of God. They don't have any knowledge about God. They claim to, but they do not. I tell you, I was born in there. I never had any understanding until 2014. When God connected me the third time with late Dr. Miles. And I now discovered that the message Christ brought was not what I have been told all these years. Was not what I ran ministry for almost 20 years with. But the message was the concept of the kingdom. So I am proudly 11 years old now. Yes. With the message that is the true message. That is the concept of the kingdom, which unveils the mind of God about what his intention was, what it became, what it must be. The intention was something happened and it became something else. And now he wants it to be something else. And that is what is the concept of the kingdom. That is why Jesus spoke nothing. He preached only one message. The message is the concept of the kingdom of God. In other words, the idea of the kingdom of God, which is nothing but a country, a government, and citizenship. This is not what you have heard in Christianity. No Bible school tells you this because they don't know it. When you are ignorant, you become the raw material for the devil. And that is the truth.